as per usual. Got to test it out real quick. It always looks like I shrink down. Color on this change? Can I do this live? Can I check this live? Is that brightness? Bring the gain down a little bit. It's a little better. Huh. Interesting. Sounds like the lights got brighter. All right. Check this. Check this. There we go. Proof that the audio is working, and that did not sound like it was clipping. Alrighty, now to share the crap out of this. I don't have a lot to talk about, but you know, as soon as other people show up, then I will. Oh. Actually, you know what? Let's redo that. Let's redo that. Ugh. I didn't remember to. I need to be better at tagging on Twitter. I'm still garbage at that. Mm. Oh, I can't do that. Weird. Yes. Okay. Ask me anything. I guess that's fine. All right. Yeah, I've always been terrible. I've always been terrible about Twitter. I've had Twitter for like 14, 15 years. How long has it been? It's been incredibly long. And yeah, still terrible at it. Still terrible. Alrighty. Again, not a lot to talk about, but there were a few things that I wanted to cover. Hopefully, I fixed some of the problems that I've been having before with live streams and just video editing in general. I changed out the operating hard drive on my work PC to an SSD. I've had the SSD for a really long time, but I never felt confident in changing it out myself just because I'm not not incredibly tech savvy, but I kept waiting to have the money and the time to bring it into Best Buy to have them do it, and I really did not feel comfortable doing that these past few days. Just because, I mean, for everyone in America, money has been incredibly tight. I mean, it was go to Best Buy and have my work PC looked at or get gas. That was pretty much where I was at. And so I chose to get gas because I needed that. I'm gonna readjust that so you don't see the little section of foam that's coming out. I'm using a dynamic microphone, not my usual. Oh, I put them all away. Not the usual. Oh, here it is. There's always one right here. Not the usual small shotgun or small diaphragm. Using a dynamic because my upstairs neighbors are having a party, and they've been having a party since yesterday. I don't know whose birthday it is. I don't know what holiday it is, but it has been insane. And it's been nonstop. It was all the way until like 3 in the morning. And then they started up again at 9 in the morning. I'm guessing they all just unanimously got 9 hours of sleep. Either way, I am here. I don't have a lot of sleep in my body, but I'm not able to do any work because of the noise. I mean, I could get something done with this because like I've shown before, this is actually a pretty reliable microphone for doing some stuff, but it's not great for everything. So I mean, obviously it doesn't sound like my Sennheiser, so there's not too much I can do with that. So Mage Pro Studios was here. He said proof. I don't know what that was about, but I guess he's gone. Anyway, there's one thing that I wanted to note, and this was actually kind of sad because when I was hooking this up, and this is going straight into my Yamaha MG12 XU, I think that's the name of it. And I was going to use one of these, which is like a cloud lifter or a like a FET head, which is basically it's just an amplifier for a dynamic microphone. And I was actually going to use this so I could actually turn the gain down. But for some weird reason, this was actually introducing a lot more noise than I remember. I haven't used this in a while. And I don't know if this just gave out or something, but I don't know if you can hear that. It's so loud. Probably on YouTube compression, you're probably not gonna be able to hear it, but it's insane. But that's why I'm using a dynamic microphone, so you can actually hear me. Hopefully, if I keep talking, it'll just cover it. Call of Duty 123. Hello, Tim. Hello. How are you? But yeah, so this was something that was I got. I don't remember if I bought this or they sent this to me. But I really like this thing. And it's kind of a bummer that it seems like it's giving out. But yeah, it's a shame. But surprisingly, this microphone works totally fine going right into the mixer. Like there's not really a lot of self noise. And the gain's up like halfway like it normally is on all my microphones. I don't know. So can't hear it on YouTube. Good. That's awesome. Thank God. I can hear it and I can feel it in my bones, but as long as you guys can't hear it, then I guess we're fine. It's just for me to suffer, I guess. Um mm, 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 mm. It is the Simply Sound Company. It's this one. I have a video on it. Um and I really like this thing. This was nice. I used it on a couple things. And I think it worked better. I don't think I had this microphone when I tested this and when I used this before. I think I was using it on the Shure SM57. I think I used it on that. I don't think I used it on this. Um, but yeah, it for those who don't know, this little thing takes the 48-volt phantom power, which a dynamic microphone does not need generally, and it basically boosts the sound level of the gain of a dynamic microphone. So you can turn the gain down, supposedly reducing a lot of the self noise that is in the the preamps. Because a dynamic microphone normally you have to turn the gain up because they need a little bit more power to be a little bit clearer, a little bit louder, and yeah, they kind of help with that. But yeah, that one gave out. What a shame. Do you have any other brands? I do not. I did want to do a Fet Head, which is another brand, and there's like a cloud lifter. Um and but I never got my hands on those. And this was the only one that I had, and I had, I just tested it and I liked it. That was it. I don't use dynamic microphone too much other than for obviously moments like this and for doing stand up. So I didn't really get to use this too much. This is normally something that would normally be used a little bit more for music. Uh I guess, you know. Um I think musicians would probably use stuff like this a lot more than voice actors. I don't know. But the gain boost is generally between. Yeah, well, I think on this one and this mic, it was pretty high. I don't remember how high it was, but it was a lot higher than I remember it. Um, it got pretty loud, so I think it's more than that, but I'm not sure. I think something about this company when they were talking to me, because I think they did email me at some point because I think I had questions, and I think they said something about like their products normally have a higher add boost the gain a lot higher than Fedhead and Cloud Lifter. I don't know. I've never tested them, but it is one of those things. If people wanted me to, I would be more than happy to, to try to test it, but not by too much. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to talk about was I mean, other than the insufferableness that has been my life recently with my computer almost dying on me, which was very scary. Um, I tried doing a whole bunch of defragmenting and cleanup, and it was getting really, really close to the point. It was getting close to the point where I wasn't able to use it at all, and I had a lot of work to do. There was a lot of auditions I didn't get to do for my agents just because um, my trying to record the waveform, the recording program kept having to stop and pause. It kept like needing to catch up, and it was causing all kinds of glitches and problems. So I had to shut everything down and then figure out how to install the SSD on my own, which was surprisingly a little bit easy. Okay, that was weird. Huh. I just gave out of nowhere. Ow. All right, so the ring light, the ring light just gave out. And the USB is a little hot, so that means it overheated. What else can happen in my life? I'm so glad I have these lights on. It's a little bit more moody lighting. I'll wait till this cools down and I'll turn it back on. Yes, I was talking about the Lufkin nightmare. Uh that was a big deal. All equipment is trying retire itself. It's true. And so here's the thing. This ring light that I'm using, I've gotten a good amount of use out of it, but it was sent to me by Newer to do a review, and I kept having trouble. Trouble. I don't know why I said it like that. I kept having trouble with the product like this, where it just overheated. It would just shut down. It's got a weird stepping issue with the light levels. It has all kinds of problems, and still kind of hot. And it was one of those videos that one of the reviews they kept asking me to do, and I was like, I can't do it because I cannot, do a good review video for you. You're going to hate this video, and I'm not gonna lie to people. So yeah, that was one product review I ended up not doing. There's a couple other product reviews that I ended up not doing. I have some products. I actually still have some products that have been sent to me in the back that I'm not gonna review. Just I told them I was like, it's better that I not review this on my channel. So now I need to rethink my whole product review policy. I need to rethink the whole thing. Uh, I need a PO box so they can just send it to because I'm not going to do the Amazon crap thing. There we go. I plugged it into a different one. Wait till it cool down. Plugged it into a different one. I think it's just this. It just outputs too much. I think that's what it is. So I put it into a cheaper one. Maybe that'll last. Who knows? Everything's trying to die on me. Yay. Let's see. Let's get to one of these questions. Not really questions. Basic measurements show yes, 31.4 sounds more like it. Gain on this thing. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, your stuff is trying to retire on you. It really is. Fortunately, like I was saying, I did manage to convert to an SSD drive. I gained an extra terabyte because the hard drive was 1 terabyte. This one's 2 terabytes, so I have more to play with. I have more room. I have more space, and I'm just trying to make sure that the computer is running fine before I completely format and try to clean up the old hard drive, the old disk drive, and use as backup storage for stuff that I'm not too concerned about losing. Just because I still want to keep that space so that I could do more videos, do more editing. But so far, I think everything's fine. I think things have been running a little bit more smoother. It's been running faster. So I guess one of the messages of today, one of the morals of the story today, is your work PC probably change it to SSD. Probably. I think that's a good idea. I think it's generally speaking, that's a good idea. So, yeah. Oh, what else? Oh, this was something I was going to stream the audiobook for The Black Dress on the YouTube channel. Um, it's been out for a little while, and I thought it might be something nice to kind of stream and watch with you guys, or listen to rather, and then have it available for the members page. I'm working on a members page. I'm working on some some stickers. I don't know what they're called. Some emojis for the members thing, but they're not turning out right. They're very, very hard to see considering they're compressed, like really small. So I don't know if I need to find someone else that can help me with those. I don't know. And I don't want to just use like copy and paste ones. I kind of want to, I want something that's more unique. Um, so working on something like that, but there's probably going to be in the future, live streams like this are probably going to be available only on the members page. Um, just because every now and then I do have to block some people. I do have to remove some comments. Was doing that a whole lot more in the past. And so I want to make sure that the conversation is clean of all spam and all dangerous links and stuff like that. I just want to make that available to you guys. And this will also help it stay a little bit more regular and a little bit more premium. Not that I'm not, not that I wouldn't still do Q&As and I wouldn't still do live streams and I wouldn't still try to answer your questions should it not end up being on a members page, but that's just an idea that I'm working on, something that I'm working on. Oh, let's see. Logitech has a new light set that isn't bad. Logitech, a light set? I mean, they do a lot of stuff. It's probably aimed more for streamers. But I don't know which ones you're talking about. It just needs cover a large area. I'll have to look it up. Tell me which ones it is, and I'll look it up. I was surprised by the improvement when I swapped to an SSD. Yep, there we go. Testimonial right there. I changed the setup to SSDs. I have OneDrive just for OS and one for. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's a great way of doing it. But yeah, that's something that I definitely suggest doing is aiming more towards SSDs, especially for your work computer, because for what we do, we need to make sure that we're always able to operate efficiently. And though I wasn't having too much trouble, it was starting to slow down and it was starting to affect some things. So better deal with it now than, buy a new computer. Gaming. Oh, totally. What are we playing? What? Wait, what? Who is it? Oh, I don't know. What are we playing? What would y'all recommend? I know everyone's talking about Elden Ring. Please, for the love of God, stop saying Elden Ring. Everyone's been saying Elden Ring. I'm not a huge fan of those kind of like ass beating games. If y'all go to my Let's Play channel, the Funny Gamer Tim, and watch some old videos of me trying to play things like I think it was Bloodborne. We tried to play Bloodborne. I was just getting my ass beat. And my roommate, Steven, my brother, is playing Elden Ring right now. And I just constantly hear him screaming like vicious profanity through like multiple walls and doors. And I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. I kind of like a little bit more casual, fun, story-based gaming. So I don't know. But if it was for like I don't know, if it was for, like, a charity or if it was, like, a big live stream event and I had other people, like, with me, like, I was playing with other people, maybe I'd play stuff like that, but, one thing I won't do is I won't do, PvPs or, like, battle royales. I hate those games. I viciously hate those games. Having said that, there's some of those games that I do voiceover in, and I'm sorry. If you like deck builders, um, inscription, how am I saying that? Inscription? Is it pronounced inscription? It's got a Y in there, so I never know. Inscription? I don't know. I'll look it up. I don't know. I don't know too much about deck builders. I can't think of the last deck builder game that I've actually played. I'm sure I've played a bunch and I just didn't know it. Uh, I don't know. Okay, gotcha. Doom version 1, that, you know what, that is pretty good. I've never actually played that all the way through. That or Castle Wolfenstein. I've never played that all the way through. So maybe that. I feel like old school games is probably a little bit more my speed, but there are some old school games that are probably no, I can say for sure, and there are old school games that are significantly harder than um than like Bloodborne and stuff like that. I'm sure that'll like really like, you want a real ass beating? How about ass beating in 3 colors? Okay. Sea of Thieves is a fun nonsense sort of. Um, I played a little bit of that with my brothers, and my sister and some friends, and I aggravated the crap out of them because after a while I was like, what's the goal here? What are we doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're just going from place to place and get it." I was like, "Yeah, but like we already have everything. The only stuff we get is like cosmetics. Like what's the point? Like what are we doing?" And so they kept playing and they didn't include me anymore. I'm like that sometimes. Sometimes I need a reason to be here. I need a reason that this exists. Um yes. Atari, ET for Atari. Exactly what I was thinking of. Exactly. Yeah. Hijacking your stream. No, it's no. This is a Q&A. This is live. This is people get to ask me literally anything. Mostly it's voiceover related just cuz that's what people have most come to me for. But, talk about anything. I mean, we could actually talk about gaming. I mean, that's pretty relevant to voiceover. Um there was actually I mean, there's a game. Oh, what is it? It's Warhammer something. I'm gonna look it up, but it's one that it's I don't remember what it is. Something Arena. It's a mobile app game, and I can't find it. Damn it. Oh, it's in my banner, I think. Oh, that's right. That's off. All right. I'll look it up later. Maybe it's in my resume. Uh, but yeah, there was something like that that I had done recently, and the client liked me so much they came back to me and had me do the tutorial voiceover, and it was that's what I've been getting a lot lately. I think the majority of my work nowadays is clients that come back to me, which is pretty much exactly what you want. That's pretty much your goal. Uh, and there's been some clients that I don't 100% enjoy working with, but I still work with some people like in particular countries that have a little different way a style of working with others, I'm gonna say it that way, that I don't entirely appreciate. There are 2 countries that seem to refuse to give me any information on the project that I'm voicing. They send me the character name, a character picture, description, and lines, and I don't know what game this is, and I don't know the company because it's always going through a middleman, and I keep having to ask them repeatedly, like, the reason that I'm asking is I wanna add this to my resume, and I wanna get footage of this for my demo when it's finished, when it comes out, and they refuse to tell me anything. Um, but there's a couple of those clients that just keep coming back, and every time they come back, I'm like, "Hey, I need to know what game this is for." Some of them I actually found out what game it was. I did some digging and, was able to find it, but they personally refused to tell me. So that's something that I guess you can expect, I guess. Oh, let's see. How about the old MechWarrior games? There was one that I loved. There was one for, like, Super Nintendo. I don't remember which one it was that I remember playing, like, constantly. I love that. That would be one that I would definitely play again. I don't know if it's available on, like, PC or it's been, like, added to, like, a streaming service. Um, I don't know. Streaming service or game, on Game Library or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. I did voice work on a first person shooter that I was dying to see come out, but they went back into development. Um, is that the name of it? Is Purgatory Guardians. Purgatory Guardians sounds familiar. Maybe I've seen the trailer for it. Huh. Purgatory Guardians. Huh. That's interesting. Um, yeah, there's a couple of projects of mine that have I've never seen the light of day. There was a couple really really big ones that ended up just being shelved, and I mean, I think I talked about this on a different live stream. I mean, most of my acting career has been like that, where it's just been completely and totally shelved, and I never see any of it. I never see the fruits of that labor, like even once. Nothing for my demo. Um, so yeah, I totally feel you on that one. I did 3 days and then another pickups about 3 years ago. Nothing has come out yet. Oh, games that allow you co-op. Oh, okay. These are different. I thought that was connected to the previous question. Um, they say that's not usual. Hmm. No, that's not unusual. Um. Oh. That's a reply to his. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Not everything that you're gonna do. There was one that I remember. It was like something Genesis. I don't remember what it was. Um, but it was kind of like it was a characterized kind of weird, creepy, gross version of like I don't know, Dante's Inferno kind of thing. And I played this weird little side character that you can partner with, and it was this long story, and it was actually really funny. It was actually really well written, and the art style was really good, even though it had kind of like a gross, I don't know, like a 90s, kind of like creepy, gross 90s kind of feel to it. And it ended up like nothing ever coming of it. The I kept in touch with the game maker and asked him if there was any updates, if he needed, any revisions or anything like that, just checking up on him. And he said that the game um got canceled because there wasn't enough interest. Probably just didn't do enough marketing, I guess. But yeah, that's going to happen unfortunately a lot. NDAs are a double-edged sword. I'm fortunate that I've only had to sign, I think, 5 NDAs in my entire life, entire career. I still, keep stuff mostly confidential, but, you know, yeah, I've only had like 5 NDAs, in my entire career, but yeah, they if you get signed to an NDA, that normally means that the project is probably going to be a much bigger deal than, you might initially think, that it's probably going to be a bigger, a much nicer credit. But that also means that unless it comes out, you're not gonna be able to say anything about it, which is agonizing. Um, there was some stuff that I think there was some stuff that I got signed to an NDA, and then they replaced me. I mean, I got paid, but then they replaced me, and, you know, I so, I wasn't able to talk about it, and then when it came out, I still couldn't talk about it because I wasn't in it anymore. So, I don't know. This kinda stuff's weird. What else? Um, oh, there was something else. I need to write these down. Oh, one thing that I was gonna talk about, uh, I don't know if I should I don't know anymore if I should just do these videos, these live streams, and just forego the whole trying to post videos. Even though I prefer posting videos because that way I can get them done and I have them up and ready for you guys, and y'all can watch them over and over and over again, as opposed to a live stream where you gotta kind of catch it on the schedule, and there is no schedule. But one thing I wanted to talk about was, coaches and coaching, because I've probably talked to and worked with maybe 5 coaches. No, probably more like 10 coaches, over the years, and there have been probably half of them that were not for me, and the other half were amazing. And it's weird that there seems to be this kind of hit and miss thing with coaches. And I've never really taken coaching too seriously. I never like advertised that I really do coaching other than like it's like my coaching email is in the description, but I don't and there's some people that I need to email back, but I don't try too hard with the coaching because I never know how good my advice is, um, until I see a lot more people that I've coached really take off. It's hard for me to gauge that. However, there are some things that I have noticed that the things that I personally need from a coach is the kind of thing that I try to provide, and it's something that people appreciate. And that is a little bit more friendly, but not to the point of being like disingenuous, of being too nice or sugarcoating everything. But everybody who's getting into, especially new people to voice acting, need encouragement. They need to know what it is they're doing right. I have worked with some coaches that the only thing they say is pretty much just negative. They only criticize what you've done or what you're trying to do or this and that. They're not very encouraging, or they're a little too aggressive, or they're too mean, or they're too rude. Um, which tough love can be fine. Tough love is actually a really, really good thing. Tough love is kind of something that I'm more or less used to, and it does kind of help motivate me, but to an extent, too far, and it does feel a little too abusive. And another thing that I think a lot of coaches really need to, and there's a reason that I'm sharing this, and I'll get to that in a second. Um, Another thing that a lot of coaches seem to miss is tailoring their coaching to the person that they're coaching for the person that they're coaching. What I mean is like tailoring it specifically for that person instead of just a fill in the blank, copy and paste kind of coaching thing. And there have been some great coaches that I've gone to who I could tell were just going through the motions. Were just fill in the blank. They were just These are just the standard exercises that everybody does that didn't generally help me. And what I normally do is, depending on how long the session is, whether it's the 30 or the hour, I always try to get as much information about the person in advance. I try to ask them as many questions, try to get, kind of a gauge on their setup and their demos and their level of experience before even talking to them. And then I try to leave myself very open to questions so that I'm answering questions that they need answered instead of just, you know, spewing answers I think they need to know. Hey Greg, how's it going? Um, we should talk about coaches sometime soon. Yes, we should. Great observation about coaches. My pleasure. Um, Now the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I don't think a lot of people know this, but almost every single one of us, especially in the independent voiceover industry, which the independent side is basically its own industry, pretty much. We are coaches to other people. Everyone is a coach to someone else. Whether it's, unless you've never picked up a microphone before, you've never recorded anything, and you haven't even started doing voiceover, you're pretty much kind of more or less soft coaching other people. The independent side of voice acting is always very, very open to other people, towards answering questions, towards trying to help others. So we're always coaching each other on some level, whether it's just answering basic questions. What's the best software? Oh, Audacity. You know, tailoring, an answer to the person's question can just be coaching. Do I think that everyone should charge for coaching? No, 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 no. I think there's a lot of people that, um, and I was absolutely one of these people. I don't think are ready to coach. You have to have a lot more confidence in what you're saying to actually be able to put yourself out there to, confidently answer people's questions. But after having, I think, coached maybe 20 people on a regular, I'd say like 5 of them on a regular basis, but 20 people that I can think of. Maybe it's been more. I've been doing this for a while. Uh, I have gotten to a point where I can answer every question that the average person that I help can throw at me. I don't think there's ever been a question that has completely stumped me. Even in areas where I'm not entirely comfortable, like audiobook, even though I have done audiobook, obviously the audiobook for Black Dress, um, and a couple other audiobooks that we shan't even talk about. I can give at least some advice. So I think another key thing is you have to know at least some level of what you're talking about. We see this a lot on Facebook groups and through Twitter and Reddit, where people will give advice that they don't know shit about. They don't know anything. There's lots of people out there, um, both in the professional side as well, who don't know anything about what they're talking about. And that also goes for big industry professionals when they're answering questions about independent side, about, things like voices.com, Voice123, Badalgo, Fiverr. If they're not using the website and they haven't used it ever, you know, uh, they can't really give advice, but you see a lot of them giving advice on those websites about don't use it. It's just a scam. It'll just take your money. So you really need to know what it is you're talking about. We also make referrals for the info we don't have. Yes, exactly. Also be very open. If you don't know anything, let people know that you don't know anything. In fact, you saying that you don't know the answer can be just as valuable. Actually, is more valuable. Let me rephrase it. Let me change it. saying that you don't know the answer is more valuable than just making up an answer, because that means that they need to keep searching rather than to take your bullshit response. Um, but yeah, so there's a lot of people who I think should um uh what's going on, all y'all? Trying to sound a little too southern there. Trying to sound a little too southern there. You ain't fooling nobody. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I think a lot more of us, some of us need to understand that we are in a position that we can help other people, and some of us need to really truly think about the advice that we're giving. That's kind of the point. Um, should we be charging for all of our advice? No, no. I don't charge for most of the advice that I give. Obviously, I don't charge for some of the coaching that I do. Some of the coaching I do isn't live; it's just through email. As sporadic as that is, but I think there's a huge distinction between union coaches and non-union coaches. Yes, there is. Also, if the coach rides on their own history and not recent experience, and advice gets shaky. Yes. Another thing that I was saying or another thing that I was going to bring up. Hmm, sorry, a little bit of gas. I don't want to belch right in here. But one thing that you obviously shouldn't do is when someone comes to you for coaching, someone comes to you for advice, it's not about you. And I've had two coaches in the past where pretty much the entire hour was burned with them kind of just going down their resume. I don't need that. If I've come to you, I'm already aware of the kind of stuff that you've done. And that's the same for most people. No one just goes to any coach. Most people go to people they're kind of on at least some level familiar with. You don't need to pitch yourself to me. I already came to you. So unless someone asks you a specific question about stuff that you've done, don't just ramble and praise yourself and pat yourself on the back. Um, you know, while coaching. Are you saying this Canadian? Are you saying this Canadian with the Icelandic name isn't selling it? No. No, I don't think you're selling it quite enough. I would actually say, however, I will say you probably sound more southern than I do. I don't really have like a southern drawl or anything like that. Um, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to compare our accents. Have you ever got your I'm just going to ignore that one? I don't know. I don't trust it. All right, I'm not gonna show you what that one says, but that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Um, remove as well. Yep. See, this is why we need a members page. That's why we need a members page. Um, let's see. Those kind of threw me a little bit. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, what is this? What is this? I don't know if y'all can hear that. Can y'all hear that? Mhm. Mhm. Do, 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 do. Well, hello. Hello, Lauren. Do, 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 do. Well, you did say you never got a question that stumped you. Is that referencing to the stuff that I had to delete? That does not count. That does not count. Um, in high school, so St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I was like Street Patrick's Day. That doesn't make any sense. We all changed our names to have O in front. Okay, had the name Jim O'Green. Okay. That's very interesting. Is the Discord up yet? No, Discord is not up yet. Just because, mostly just because I was still working on some stuff with the computer. Again, having lots of okay. Mhm. And this is why we can't have nice things. Let's go ahead and boop. There we go. Yay! Fixed. Um, because people just like ruining things. People like ruining things for other people. I'm pretty sure it's the same asshole has been messaging all kinds of other things. Um, I don't think that was a bot. I think that's just a douchebag. I think it's just a moron. I don't think it was. I don't think that was a bot. It's a very weird thing for a bot to message, unless it's like an AI going, "I'm coming for you. The world will be destroyed." Um, yeah, I don't like. If it has a link, then it's a bot, probably. But if it's just spamming pure nonsense, that's probably not a bot. Oh, da, da, da. Mm. Clapping emoji. Yeah, for real. Uh, mm, mm. That's pretty funny. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Serious question. Would you recommend a different style of coach to a newer VO artist like me than to a more experienced talent? Um, yes, actually. So I actually had this conversation with somebody recently, talking about a coach that they recommended to me that kind of didn't really gel well with me. And I'm probably not going to be going back to for at least a while. And mostly because, so I'm not going to mention this person's name. I think they're an amazing talent. I think they're an amazing talent. And I think that they did actually have a lot to say and a lot of tough love that kind of helped put stuff into perspective for me. But they had an issue um, that I believe might have something to do with, like, particular kinds of substance abuse that made them a little bit forgetful. So when I first talked to this person, first tried to communicate with this person, I sent them I sent them some my demos and samples as well as some fan dubs because my goal was to get, communicate with them about redoing my demos and asking them about anime related stuff. And I had asked them all these questions, but they they pretty much ignored all of that stuff that I sent them, didn't look over any of it, and they said, "No, that's not necessary." And they just started doing the coaching. 3 sessions in, I asked them again, "You sure we don't need to review my demos or go over any of my samples or anything like that and kind of talk about anime and stuff like that?" And they're like, "No, no, no, no." And eventually they listened to my demo themselves, finally got them to listen to it, and they finally listened to it, and they called it shit. They called it terrible. And and then we started talking about that, and they, like, really went off on my demos. And then later, they, on their own time, listened to my fan dubs and then kind of got mad at me for doing fan dubs, and it was like it was again, like they had discovered this on their own. I was like, "I came to you for this. I asked you for this advice almost a year ago, like, months ago. Where were you? You can't get mad at me now." And then there was also one session that I thought was really, really weird, which should have been a red flag, that we were reading over a script, and they got mad at me. They got mad at me for uh boop-a-doo. um they got mad at me for reading a script a certain way. And they said, "I told you to read it this way. I told you to read it this way 3 times." And they never did. And I started to kind of get a little weird and suspicious about that. Um, it was something that, is like, "I told you to, read it with this kind of volume and this kind of inflection." And even in the script, it doesn't say anything about that. And so it kind of a telltale. However, long story short, that is the kind of coach that someone who is a more outgoing, someone who is more assertive, someone who is more aggressive or more extroverted, and someone who has a higher level of confidence would probably work well with that kind of coach. The one that's like a drill sergeant that would just beat it into them. Someone who's a little bit more like me, who uh, has a history of shitting on himself and has a history of emotional scarring. We'll say that. Uh, that doesn't really gel well with me. That doesn't really help me. It's not beneficial. It's not healthy. Tough love, yes, but nonsensical, aggressive behavior, no. So, are there coaches that I would suggest for new people that I wouldn't suggest for people who've been doing this for a while? Yes, there are tons of coaches like that. I would say someone like Bill DeWeese is a great coach for pretty much everyone. Is a fantastic coach for all people. He's very approachable. Um, you know, and he's he's very friendly. He comes from a background of doing things like education. So he's used to taking his time with informing people. That's a long story that I wish there wasn't so many distractions with these this spammery do. Is this person actually creating a new account every time? Spamming is comedy. Ha 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 ha. Ha. That's how I read that. Different coaches cater. I don't know why I was like, cater. What's a cater? Cater to different genres. Yes. There's some coaches that are better for anime. There's some coaches that are better for commercial narration or audiobook. Um, uh, I think Mike Delgadio is probably more in the audiobook and commercial narration. Bill Luis is definitely commercial narration, maybe audiobook. He doesn't really do audiobook anymore. I'm more specifically in the area of character work, video game, and online services like Fiverr. That's kind of my main thing, kind of the entry level stuff. Awesome. Greg, yes, Greg is awesome. The story is so true. General coach, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Why do you keep retracting your message? Because I'm not doing that. Are you spamming? Is it you? Mhm. I've been really worried to record recently. Really? I feel like I can't give my best performance with my current setup, so I keep recording. So recording if I know it won't sound as good as I want it to, or should I wait? First off, there are multiple different layers to a good recording. One is performance, and the other one is obviously sound quality. Um, there's also a third aspect, which is kind of like the copy, the read, but that's sometimes not in your own. That's not on you. That's on the client. Um, so just because it's not the perfect sound or the perfect audio quality, you can still practice and work on your performance. You can still do auditions, even if you don't get them. This is basically a way of doing really, really good practice. So, um, keep going out there. If you're going on websites like Fiverr or you're going on websites like castingcall.club, you're not going to be judged as harshly. You're not going to be, your lack of skill or lack of quality isn't going to be held over your head. Like if you were to audition or send it to an agency, send your audio files to an agency that's more professional, they might kind of hold that against you. They might kind of remember you down the line, goes, "Oh, this was the guy that was like recording in his bathroom." Maybe, but on the independent side, it's a little bit more forgiving, especially considering there are so many voice actors and there are so many auditions, there are so many projects. People aren't going to remember what you sounded like a while ago. Also, those who do, if your quality does increase a lot within a short period of time, that actually goes very well towards your future because people can see, oh, okay, they put in a lot of work, they put in a lot of effort in like a year and they sound so much better. That means that you're taking it serious. And to a lot of people, if I was, auditioning, and I heard that, that would let me know to keep an eye out for you and to maybe put you in kind of like a reserve category and like check up on you and send you some more auditions down the line. So it's not a bad idea. You can just keep going. Um, he'll get it eventually. Um, I can also recommend a few coaches for anime, but I'll hit you up on that later. Okay, cool. Yeah. That'd be really, really cool. There were a few people that I have on my list. There were some people that I had actually messaged trying to find out what they're because I'd seen that they did coaching. Yeah, it said something about doing coaching, and then I couldn't find their coaching link or couldn't find their coaching email, and so I tried messaging them, and they never responded. So I'm like, I guess not. So, uh, you know, if I do find any really, really good coaches specifically for anime, um, especially in anime career, not just anime performance, not just anime reading, not just doing ADR, but for anime career, like actually getting into the career, how to actually like market and pitch yourself in a way that's advantageous towards that kind of industry. That's what I'm more interested in. Because I already know I can do that. I already know I can, do it. It's just a matter of showing people that I can do it. I was trying to to be funny, but the joke wasn't working. Should have just left it up. Should have just left it up, man. There's no reason to not. Uh, Crispin Freeman. That sounds so familiar, and not just the last name Freeman, Mr. Freeman. Um, I'm gonna look that up later. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and copy that so I don't forget it. It's the benefit of doing this. I can just highlight, copy, new page, new tab, paste. And there we go. I'll check up on that later. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar. I know the guy. I think I'm friends with him on Twitter, which doesn't mean or I'm following him on Twitter. You're not friends with anybody on Twitter. Nobody's friends on Twitter. People are just, enemies or not enemies. You can be following someone and still hate them. That's Twitter for you. I record under 5 blankets. That's pretty hot. At my desk. Why don't you just hang those blankets up? It gets really hot. Yeah, it gets really hot. And so it's hard to breathe. Sometimes, yeah, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Really, really stop. I guess my question is, should I continue the this backwards recording style? I don't know what you mean by backwards. I don't know what you mean by that. Backwoods recording style? Maybe that's what you meant? Which still doesn't make any sense, or wait till I have a good place to record. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is if you have 5 blankets, you already have 5 blankets. Um, it doesn't cost too much to build a very simple PVC frame. I mean, just for like a basic, you know, 6 by 3 by 3 frame of PVC. I mean, you're looking at under $50. I don't know exactly how much it cost before, but the PVC is really, really cheap. And if you already have the blankets, do that. Don't cover yourself. And if your setup you can't really put it on a stand. I don't know where I'm pointing. Oh, there we go. On a stand, you can still, kind of basically build a little tent around your desk area and kind of encapsulate yourself that way. That's what I'd recommend. If you have a few bucks, go buy some PVC, set up something like that, and then just like Velcro them or clamp them onto it, and that's going to be so much better than what you have right now. There's going to be a little bit more airflow. You got a little bit more room. You're not going to be hunched over, like covered in a blanket. That's going to be better for you. Definitely do that. Yeah, stop completely. Don't you're not fighting the flu, so you don't need to sweat it out. That's my advice. As soon as Tim does my other demo, I'd like to try sending off to an agent. Yes, absolutely. As soon as you get it, as soon as we do that, that's exactly what you should do. I don't know why that froze. That's weird. Did that freeze? Is that an image? What is that? Um, would need some guidance on that though. Yeah, we can talk about that. Definitely talk about that. I've been checking out some of your mic videos. Great info. I'm just about settled on the MXL 770. Yes, the MXL 770 and the MXL 990 are really, really good mics. In fact, MXL is one of those companies that has really good, reliable microphones. They're not super expensive. They're not super cheap. They're relatively rugged. I actually gave a friend one of my favorite microphones just because they needed something. They were in a relationship, but the person that they were with that they recently separated took basically all of that gear because it was technically theirs, and so they didn't have anything. And so I kind of gave them one set of my backup stuff, and I don't remember which. I think it was the MXL V67G. That's the one. That's what it was. I gave them that just because they like the look of it, and it's really reliable. I think it's like 60-ish bucks, and it's really, really good. So MXL is one of those companies I'd definitely say when you're starting out is a really good first buy because it's not a cheap, Chinese knockoff. It's not super expensive, and the quality is pretty good. There's obviously companies that and microphones that are significantly better. There are, um, you know, some of their microphones have a little bit higher noise than I would like, but generally speaking, the majority of their lineup, the majority of their microphones that are within your price range are going to be fine. So yeah, I'll have to try some things. My main issue is figuring out how to do it. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, I have a video on putting up a PVC frame. Um, if you want to look up that, it's literally like a PVC voiceover booth. It's like I think it's like an hour-long video, but it's pretty much the first half is just like the PVC frame stuff. So, it's not too complicated. It's pretty easy. It doesn't require a lot of tools, and it's kinda like Legos or Tinker Toys. Tinker Toys? Does anybody remember Tinker Toys? Um, Also, by backwards, I just mean that I was aware that it's not at all what you should do. Not necessarily. Um, if you were like on the road doing voiceover and you're in a hotel room, which I've had to do that many, many times, um, a common thing is literally, finding the quietest corner. Sometimes just getting in the closet if it has like an actual closet that's big enough for you to get in, having your microphone, and then just putting the big heavy blanket duvet thing that they have on there, just putting that over you. Sometimes that's what you got to do when you're on the road. So it's not necessarily undoable, or it's doable. It's not necessarily something you should just like forget completely. But for your at home studio, it's not a really good setup. You need to find something that's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed. Okay. Dude, having a Discord would allow us to share links, and info to help each other and build these things. Grommets are amazing and help with construction. Yep. There's actually a few Facebook groups that cater specifically to setting up a recording space and building vocal booths. Yes, there are. Again, be a little specific with some of these Facebook groups because some of them are established by douchebags that the whole purpose is just so they can sell books or webinars or what have you. And they're really, really anal about other people sharing advice, and it's really just a friends group. So be cautious, be careful. Story. I'll have to look into that. Yes, but again, be careful. I've done a couple of jobs on Bunny Studio. Good. I'm signing up for Voquet. I still don't know how to say that. Voquet, quiet, quiet. What other online services do you recommend? Obviously, I recommend Fiverr. I have a lot of videos on Fiverr. I have a lot of conversations on Fiverr, and it's mostly just because it is one of those platforms that shows up in search engines when searching voiceover so many times. It's like voices.com, voice123, and Fiverr are like normally pretty high up there. Badalgo sometimes, castingcall.club sometimes, but normally it's one of those three. And it's pretty easy to, if you know how to do it, set up an account and then essentially not have to worry about it and get work coming in without having to audition if you set it up right. And as long as you're not screwing yourself by setting yourself up, too cheaply. There's kind of there's a trick to it, and a lot of people who do it wrong end up hating on the website and then abandoning it. But people who set themselves up for success really, really like it, and some of them are making insane amount of money through Fiverr. I mean, my Marvel credit and all of my NDAs have all come through Fiverr. I've done, I think I did like 200. I did a $300 project, and then I did a $150 project recently through Fiverr. And yes, Fiverr does take a percentage, but so does an agent, so does an agency, and so does the union. So it's not that weird for the industry. So I definitely recommend Fiverr, but it depends on what areas you're going into. If you're going into specifically video game and character work, Casting Call Club. If you're going into audiobook, ACX. These are all free platforms. Voice Bunny is pretty good. They're getting better. I think Voice Bunny was kind of tricky to use originally. It was very, very hard to use, and at first it was pretty much only it was almost only UK projects, And so a lot of it was just looking for natural British, English, Scottish, German, Welsh accents, and that kind of made it hard to use internationally. But I think they're a lot more widespread and a lot more. They're getting a lot more work from everywhere these days. So they're pretty good. Let's see. Do you have a video on how to set up the right and stand out on Fiverr? I have tons of videos. I actually have a playlist for Fiverr. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. I have tons of videos on this, but I have one that's specifically towards Fiverr. If I can find it. But yeah, I got a couple. But if you were to come to me for coaching, that is definitely one of the topics that I would cover, especially for people that are just starting into the industry. As long as you're not setting yourself up to basically be taken advantage of, you can, you can have a pretty good career. Where are you? Where is it? That's disgusting. Oh, here we go. Here's some news. I'm going to be doing another, just because you people will not stop, I'm going to be doing another Sea-Dog VA reaction video. So you maniacs can look forward to that. Don't know when I'm going to be doing that, but now that I have the SSD in here and everything seems to be operating fine, should be able to go. Would you choose acronym? Okay. An acronym. If you chose, would you choose an acronym? What do you mean? Would I choose an acronym if you chose Fiverr? I would choose an acronym if you choose Fiverr. Do you mean for your account name? I assume you mean for your account. Why an acronym? I say as long as it stands out, but I think I know what you're saying. I think you're making me hit octaves here. It is said that agents frown on it just to be safe. I wish I had done that. Oh, okay. Okay, I know what you okay. Okay, what you're trying to say, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is don't use your real name on Fiverr. Use a pseudonym. Do we need pseudonym? Or an acronym, which would be like just the letters of your name to kind of cover your tracks. So when someone Googles your name, you don't show up on Fiverr. If an agent's looking, looking for more information on you, they're going to show up on Fiverr and they're going to be like, "Oh, he's on Fiverr." Oh, I think that's what you mean. If so, I would kind of agree. That's it. I'd kind of agree. I don't know if it's the same anymore. That's definitely how it was like 5 years ago. I don't know if agents refuse to work with you. Okay, so the 2 or 3 agents that I work with, they're non-exclusive, which means they're totally fine if I work on other platforms, and they're totally fine if I have other agents. Some of them are actually okay if I have other agents within the same state, which blows my mind. That's not normally the case. So I don't know. I don't think that they have a big problem with it. However, I do also use an acronym. It is FunnyGuyTimmy on Fiverr, and I don't use my real name. So I don't know. I still haven't taken the Fiverr plunge. I generally have enough business to keep me busy. Well, then don't worry about it. If you're getting your own business, that's totally fine. But may eventually look into it. I have enough friends who are experts. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So Fiverr is, so you do a lot of work in advance to set yourself up so that people can find you, listen to your demos, read your description, and then place an order. And that way you get a ping. You definitely want the app, and then you get a ping, and you can look at it and you go, oh, I got work. And then you go in there and you get money. And that way you don't have to do auditioning. Everywhere else, you got to do marketing, got to do auditioning. That one's more passive. So it can kind of, I mean, doesn't matter what platform you're on, agents or websites. You always want to diversify anyway. You never want to do just one thing. So it could, um, you know, it could it could be a good thing to add to your already existing revenue pool. Mm. I found that Fiverr is a great way to get started. It is. I picked up a lot of basic experience really quickly. I'll get my level 1 seller status Monday. Good for you. And I've only really focused on it since January. Okay, well, good. Tim, computer guy here. Hi. How are you? Never defrag your new SSD. It kills the drive. Right, right. Yeah. But that is a real good thing to say, just generally speaking. Thank you. Oh, let's see. Also, I don't think it needs to be defragged. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's very different than a hard drive, hard disk drive. That needs to be defragged because it's all discombobbled. Yeah, cool. Does he mean an alias? Alias? Right. The pseudonym thing. You should reach out to CDog VA and see if he'll do a little video interview. I don't think so. I don't think my channel's big enough for him to worry about. Maybe later. Maybe let's say at 25,000 subscribers, maybe then I'll approach him. But until then, not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna keep doing reaction videos every other month, maybe. I don't want to do too many because I don't want it to seem like I'm specifically picking on him or that he in particular is doing anything that needs to be addressed, because I think he's doing fine. I mean, he's in a completely different, area and ballpark. His thing is more focused on streaming. I mean, that's kind of more or less his thing and being an influencer. And my thing is, voiceover. So, you know, if I was to do a video about, streaming or anything like that, obviously, there's going to be things that I'm not going to know. So there we go. I don't know, Greg. I doubt it's hurt Bill DeWeese's brand. Well, here's the thing about Bill DeWeese is he kind of the I think the agents that he has, I don't know exactly, but I think the agents that he has kind of more or less he was already making a good chunk of money before they ever said yes. So he was already basically, a golden calf for, they wanted him rather than he wanted them. And so it really didn't matter what platform he was on. He was doing the right thing. He was making enough money. He was charging, appropriately. He was proving himself to be, a very shrewd businessman. So, yeah, I think his is very, very different. I hear you, Greg. Yes. What is SSD? I'm unfamiliar with that. Solid state drive. So it's like a God damn it. I never have the things that I'm looking for. It's it's like one of those USB thumb drives. It's kind of like that. Or what's commonly in laptops these days. Actually always in laptops. I don't think of laptops. No, there's probably been some laptops that have did hard disk, but they're just smaller and they're just solid state. There's no spinning disk in them. Okay, let's see. I'll agree though, Fiverr is a great way to start out. Yes, for sure. And again, there's a right and a wrong way of doing it, and don't set yourself up for failure or stress if it is set up appropriately, it is very, very, very good. It can be very profitable. It can be a great way of getting some pretty good credits, some stuff your resume. But again, there's a trick to it. Solid state drive, solid state drive. Oh, gotcha. Man, level 1 in a short amount of time. That's amazing. It is, and he should be proud of himself. Well, gang, I got a jet. Don't forget tomorrow night. Oh, when you're on the channel, help us overanalyze the Atom Project. It's time travel, so I am going to go off on it. I mean, for those who don't know, I'm going to be on Rob's. Go ahead and plug your if you're still here. Go ahead and plug your channel, and go ahead and list the time that it's going to be up. We're going to be doing a live stream, doing a watch review, whatever. Is it a live stream? I believe it is a live stream. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of the Atom Project, which is available Amazon or Netflix. I think it's Netflix. It's Netflix. And yeah, he asked me to be there. I'm going to be there. And so it's going to be fun. A little hangout. It's going to be cool. Yeah, it's going to be it. I've been at it for 2 years and only halfway to level 2. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while. Again, as long as you're enjoying it, as long as it's low stress, as long as you're making enough money that it is worth your time and effort, totally fine. I mean, there was a lot of crap work on the way there. Of course there was. There's always is. About 10K in so far. I'm assuming dollars. I think I need to change my rates. Yes, you do. You always need to change your rates. Solid performance, man. I'm at 10% of that. Oh, of the 10K. Of the 10K? So you're at a 1K? A 100? What are we talking about? I don't know. Bill is considered a bit taboo and a snake oil salesman on the West Coast. Having actually talked to and met Bill, I don't think he's a snake oil salesman. I will say, and I've said this before, that a lot of Bill DeWeese's business is promoting Bill DeWeese's business. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. I don't think he I think he focuses a lot more time in the coaching and the webinars more than the actual voice acting these days. But he does make the money that he says he does, and he has done a lot of work. I don't think he is. I don't think he's a huge scam artist. Do I think that he's relevant for everybody? Do I think his coaching is relevant to everyone? No. Do I think his strategies will work for everybody? No. But that's the same with every coach. That's the same with everyone who does a webinar. That's the same. That's the same with me. Not everything that I say and that I do is going to work for everybody. Yeah. So I wouldn't. I will say that there's a lot of people who don't like Bill DeWeese, and maybe I should probably do a video. I did a video on Earl Hall. Might as well do a video on Bill DeWeese. Talk about that, I guess. Yeah, I don't think he was a great coach for me, but I don't think he's a terrible coach. He's kind of in a different area than I am. I'm in character and video game and cartoon, and he's in more commercial narration, radio, and audiobook and stuff like that, and e-learning. He does a lot of e-learning. And so it's kind of like it's just a different area. He has butt heads with a lot of people in the industry. There's a lot of people who are more SAG or Hollywood or industry people that really, really hate him because he was one of those people that really kind of helped really launch the independent side very early on. Some of his videos were the first that I had ever seen to get into voice acting on an independent side. And this was around the time when there really wasn't that much. Now there's tons of videos, even from people who were arguing with Bill that he shouldn't share insider information, are now doing the same thing that he was doing. So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's a fair comparison, especially um, I'd say you got I don't know if there's some. I do know there's some people that have had terrible experiences with him. Same with Earl Hall, and I'm not going to say that they're wrong. But for me, I wouldn't say he's a snake oil salesman. There we go. We should do a Sea of Thieves stream together. We should. I would be totally cool with that. Live on the channel at 9 p.m. Kentucky Derby time. Tomorrow, Sunday. The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds on Netflix. Blockbuster. Yep. Come on by. Bill is a Midwest guy. Oh, because it was like West Coast. Oh, right. Hi, I'm Bill DeWeese, brought to you by Bill DeWeese. It's not wrong. It's not wrong at all. Bill is a what? What is this? I'm not entirely familiar with this. Cincinnati. Oh, is in Cincinnati. Okay. For some reason, he is and I was like, he is a Cincinnati? My dyslexia just punched me right in the face. I was like, what is a Cincinnati? Bill is an anomaly, a ghost story. It's just don't step foot in his territory or else you'll leave. Oh, this is really funny. Oh, I should have just done an entire Bill DeWeese live cast. It's really funny. For overall marketing technique, Bill has a great handle on things. For an actual doing the voiceover work, he's okay. Yes, exactly. A starting coach. For what Tim has mentioned, he's great too. Yeah. Again, I would say his strength is marketing. Um, I've personally heard like 10 different commercials that he's done for, when I'm just on the radio or on like YouTube or on various like music streaming services. So he's getting work. He gets around. So it's not like he's marketing that he's doing a lot more work than he actually is. But his thing is marketing. His thing is heavy marketing. So if you want to find someone for marketing, Bill Luis is your guy. If you want to find someone on how to improve your performance, maybe go somewhere else. The Billy Bean, the, the Billy Bean of voiceover. I don't know what that means. Bill is becoming a Chuck Norris of the indie video world. Wait, are you saying the stuff about Chuck Norris isn't true? What are you saying? These are lies. This is blasphemy. This is blasphemous lies. How dare you, sir? I cannot respect that kind of shame. I do think he's sometimes overhyped. Agreed. My new headcanon is Bill Dewey is an SCP. This is great. Why did we do this whole time? This is so funny. Who escaped into the VO world. All right. Oh man, that makes me want to like write up what Bill DeWeese as an SCP was. That's great. That's really good. You guys are funny. On the subject of Lexidixia, how do you deal with it when reading scripts? Did I talk about this? I think I've talked about this a couple times. Um, Struggling with ADD, sorry, ADD as well as dyslexia. I have ADD and dyslexia as well. Um, I'm saying me, not just reading that. Um, I so my ADD is very very hard on me because it's hard for me to focus on work sometimes and hard for me to stay focused. Most of that is just I have to plan out taking breaks every now and then because sometimes I do get incredibly bored and I do get incredibly sidetracked and I gotta just hit pause, hit stop, save project, whatever, walk out of the studio, do something, get back in there. It kind of like reshuffles my brain. So that one's not that bad. I also take things like ginkgo and stuff like that, and other over-the-counter non-prescription stuff that kind of helps with focus. And there's kind of a batch of supplements and vitamins that I take that kind of help me with that. Not a lot, but enough that I've noticed the difference. And as far as my dyslexia, yeah, exactly. Oh, shiny. As far as my dyslexia, a lot of times I will one thing that I'll do is I will copy the script and put it in either generally speaking, I'll put it in I'll basically type open up a blank email that I'm not emailing to anybody, just so I can copy and paste all of the words of the script and then just select it and have it read it to me. That is if the script that's provided to me isn't through things like Fiverr where I can I can just automatically just highlight it, or it's not a PDF where I can just open it up in Google and have it read it to me. But I have an app on Google that reads stuff to me. What's weird is it doesn't work with things like Google Docs. So if they send me a Google Doc, I have to copy it and paste it somewhere else. Um, but generally speaking, that helps. And then there's a way that I actually break up lines when I put it into a Word doc. So wherever there would naturally be a pause or a break, whether it's a comma, a period, or an and or a but, where I would naturally kind of pause, just a real short pause, I move that down to another line. That way, because the problem that I have is that I need a little bit more time for what I'm looking at to process in my head and show up clearly and be recognized as words and letters. So if I'm trying to read a sentence that half of the sentence is moves to the next line, unnaturally, then it takes a while for my brain to catch up because I have to go all the way over here and then my eyes come over here. And by the time I get over here, I need to already be saying these words, but I haven't processed it yet. So if I move everything down to their own line appropriately, where I would naturally pause, and that natural pause gives me a chance to kind of catch up, that helps me. It's not a perfect fix. It doesn't resolve all of my issues because I still need to read over it a bunch and kind of, for the most part, memorize it. And I still need to have it, Google read it to me so that I can get the full context and make sure that I'm not, uh, you know, reading words wrong, just to make sure that it is in fact what I'm reading. There's a couple extra steps that I got to do, but it's not impossible. Yeah, hope that answered that question. What? Is he in here? um, I'm gonna do a coaching session and play random cat meows. God damn it. Just keep. Was the cat in here or something? I don't see the cat. What happened? Why is everyone bringing up the cat now? Is he in here? Why are you bringing up the cat? Probably. I'm guessing. Yeah, man. So you think ginkgo is a decent supplement? So ginkgo is good for memory, which helps me, even though my memory is already really, really good. I have 136 IQ, or okay, let me rephrase that. When I was 6, I was tested and I had 136 IQ. I think since 20, since the age of 20, my IQ has been 110 or 125, so it's been between there. So, my memory is really, really good. The problem is with my dyslexia, if I memorize, a script wrong because I read it incorrectly with dyslexia, it's basically hardwired into my head, and so it's very hard for me to reread it. Ginkgo helps me kind of clear my head and memorize better a little bit. But there's other things. I might actually do a video on some of these. I need to write some of these down. So we got the Bill Deweese Bill Deweese review video. Uh, Bill Deweese review video and Ginkgo. What did you write today? Oh, that's what I wrote. I wrote that down in a notebook. Make sure I cover these topics. Why would you want to cover these topics? Oh, people were wondering. Oh, my life is weird. Mm, where's video ideas? There was a one for video ideas. Dang it. That didn't work. None of those are what I'm looking for. All right, I'll write them down on a separate note. But anyway, yeah, that's how I've been dealing with that. And there's some other things that have been helping me out as well, and that have really kind of helped me get a little better at focus and memory. It's been pretty good. There we go. And then coaches. That was the other thing I was going to say. All right. All right. Later. Back to work. Later, dude. I'm probably going to be on a little bit longer just because I think we're having a lot of fun. Let's see. That could be confusing. Tim has a cat now. And then laugh, laugh, laugh. Ha ha ha. I think I still don't know why the cat thing got even brought up. I don't even know. That's gonna drive me crazy. I have this nystagmus. I don't know what that is. So I have a real issue with reading. Is it a type of dyslexia? Sounds like a type of dyslexia. Unless it's a vision problem. I have to look that up later. Unless you could tell me. You could probably tell me. While I'm reading, my eyes will jump all over the place. Oh, I would say physically jump all over the place. So I usually read the script as soon as possible. Saying like physically jumps all over the place, or are you saying like distraction based, like ADHD, like you can't focus? That's what I'd like to know. It sounds a little bit more like a physical vision thing. Which if that's true, sorry that you're having to deal with that. Yep, but if you need to take your time reading it, involuntary movement is either. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but if you got to take your time reading it, take your time reading it. I might also suggest getting an app to read it to you. That might also help. And then I would suggest as you're listening to it, also follow along so that you're basically memorizing where each point, each word is pointed out in the thing. Yeah. So, let's see. But good luck with that. Good luck with that, by the way. Yeah. I have the memory and organization skills of a carrot and the old eyes that don't like to go down. Next line. Wow. Man, there's a lot of people with a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. So I feel part of your pain. Wow, man. Well, at least you'll have some camaraderie. Let's see. Bill DeWeese doesn't read scripts. He's Sit down until they read themselves. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Bill Louise doesn't do editing or retakes. They just themselves to fit. Uh, oh, this is really good. Uh, paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, and scissors beat paper. What beats all three at the same time? Bill Louise. That one better not just be a copy and paste of Chuck Norris. That one better not just be, and then just like find replace Chuck Norris, replace with Bill Louise. Bill Louise doesn't deal with background noise when he speaks. That's my favorite. That's my favorite right there. That was great. That's really good. Oh, that's really oh, damn it. Oh, okay, when I do a video about Bill DeWeese, that's what I want in the comment section. That's what I absolutely want in the comment section. I don't want anything else, just those. Promise me. Oh, that's really good. Oh, and then later when the video's full of those, and we'll send that to Bill DeWeese. That's really funny. Oh, man. You guys are on the ball. You guys are on it. Oh my gosh. That's really funny. Damn it. Damn it. Oh. Oh, I don't even know what to say. That absolutely made my day. Here's the thing, I actually was not in a great mood today, mostly just because I didn't have enough sleep, all that going on that frustrates the crap out of me, some personal stuff, some personal relationship stuff, and, some issues with a coach that I thought I could trust, but that all of that just made my day. You win. You did it. Good job. That was amazing. That's really funny. All right. So I see some people are chiming out. Goodbye to everyone who is leaving. Anyone who's staying, feel free to ask me some more questions. I think I got some messages on something that I need to check. I don't know if they're related. Sometimes people just message me randomly. Uh, oh, I mean, yeah. Um, Sorry, that actually is unrelated. That's actually working on a project. The project that I've been posting clips on, which actually is something that I might post in the the what was it? The members section. So that project that I've been working on, that personal um uh, dream project of mine that I haven't really shared too much, but there's been storyboards and animations and some art on my Instagram that I've shared that I may talk about in more detail, like actually like talk about what it's about on the members page when I get that going, because I think that would be something that you guys would be very interested in. As of right now, there's not that many roles to be auditioned for the first episode, for the pilot episode, which I was hoping to finish recording my part of the first episode so I can start kind of like loosely storyboarding, kind of doing some thumbnails for it. But that is making it very hard. So we'll see. Maybe when all that dies down, maybe tomorrow before the live stream. There is no god damn it. There is no light in Bill Dewey's studio. The dark just knows to stay. Bill doesn't do auditions. He just casts himself. Geek question. I'm like half expecting like it starts out as a normal question and then it's like a Bill Dewey surprise at the end. That's really funny. Do you box up your mic when not using them, or just lay them down uh in your mic locker. So it's kind of a 50-50. So I have some mics that came in like the actual like Pelican like cases that I put back in their setup. Then there's mics that I use on a regular basis, like these ones that I keep the dead cats on so dust doesn't get in them. And then I have other ones that I have that I'm not too worried about that didn't come with any kind of like or pleather pouch or any kind of casing or any padding or any kind of container that are just in just like a organizer. So it's a bit of mix. And then there's like a mic on that thing that I was kind of doing some tests with to see if it would be better in certain circumstances that I just haven't put back yet. But that one actually does come with a case, and it's like a really nice one that I'm actually going to put back up. But I have its case. I have its case on the shelf, so it's kind of a mix. It's kind of a mix. It's kind of a splattering of all kinds of inconsistency and chaos. If that answers that question. Depression is actually a Latin term. I already saw that it was translated. It means you can never be. I knew it was coming. I saw Bill Louise and I knew it was coming. Oh God, it's really funny. It's really funny. Why isn't this a thing? Why isn't the internet adopted this? It's really funny. Probably because there's a lot of people that hate Bill Louise. But if it's gonna be memeable and it's funny, come on. It's like Nicolas Cage. Like Nicolas Cage. He's not a great actor, but come on, he's a legend because of the internet. It's really funny. That's outstanding. Um, Bill doesn't need to breathe in his booth. He just holds air hostage. All right, some of these are gonna be good. These are gonna be good. There's gonna be a whole thing of them. There's gonna be a whole thing of them. Can we just do some memes and like post them online? Like how popular do you think it would actually be? That's what I want to know. How popular do you think Bill DeWeese, Chuck Norris style memes would actually be online? Because I think they're funny. Because I know Bill DeWeese. Because I've gotten to meet him and talk to him a few times. Um, so for me, this is hilarious. But I don't know if it would actually be hilarious for everybody. There is no normalization with Bill DeWeese. It just how he speaks. Oh, yeah. It's like room temperature. He is the room temperature for normalization. Normalization is just where Bill DeWeese's levels are, and then everything is set there. That's how it is. It's really, really funny. It's really fun. Like I don't even like I want to just throw out everything else that I was thinking about today and was going to talk about. That's all just it's rubbish now. It's gone. Um People watching back this live stream probably going to lose their shit after the halfway point. I hope so. That's really funny. Um my contributions are pretty weak. No, they're fine. They're fine. I mean, as long as we're laughing. Personally, I think Bill looks like Jeremy Hawkeye. Holy crap! That's amazing. Yeah. Why haven't I seen that before? Huh. I think he does. This is like he looks like, after Hawkeye like fully retires and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna stay home with my family. You know what? I'm gonna be a voice actor. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do audiobooks. And that's him and he changes his name. Yeah, I could see it. That's pretty good. All right. I'm not sure what else I was gonna talk about. I think I already covered the things I was gonna talk about. I wasn't gonna cover any of my personal issues. I've actually been told by some people to not cover my personal problems, and I don't know what people think about that. I don't know if that's actually an issue. I don't know if that would actually. There's some people saying that talking about personal life struggles and depression and stuff like that would be bad for my brand. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. Personally, I think um, lying and saying that I'm always fine is far worse. Especially on YouTube, where most of my stuff is not for marketing necessarily. It's for you guys, and I think that would be. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section. I don't know how relevant that would be, how helpful that would be, if people would actually want to hear more about that. Um, because I am doing better, and there was some stuff that I've learned. Um, so I don't know. Behind every successful talent, there is an agent behind every. To tell him, Bill, excellent. All right, that one surprised me. I was like, "Where's this one going?" And then I saw Bill. I was like, "Damn it!" It is helpful to Jim. I struggle with depression, and knowing someone else is there too is helpful. That's what I've always thought. I always thought that. I mean, one of the biggest problems with depression is the idea that you're alone. I mean, there is this kind of the feeling of being in a small box on a desert island with depression, and everyone always feels like you're the only one feeling this. You're the only one in your world, and your world is dark and cold. And I think that it is important that everyone knows that other people have struggled with something similar. Other people have felt what you're feeling, and are either there, moving past it, and they've learned a lot, or they're right there with you. I don't know. I think that kind of stuff is um important. There was a series that I was going to do, which was going to be called Why I, and it was going to be Why I dot dot dot, and then there was going to be sections, and it was going to be divided into multiple videos, and it was going to be Why I this, Why I that, Why I all this kind of stuff, and it was going to go into some really personal stories, some real personal struggles, and I wanted to do that because I felt like I wanted people to know all the miserable steps in my life to get here. That it wasn't easy, because I don't want people to think that this and everything that I've done is um is easy. Because I don't want people to think they're that their struggling is unique. That they're having a hard time getting where they want to get to is because of them. That everyone else is easy. If you need rant about, that's perfectly fine. Bill Deweese an can never find out an online forum because he will never that one, like, it waits till the very last word. That one's good. That one's really good. And I'm officially done. Oh, man. Ah, Bill Deweese, here we go. Bill Deweese doesn't struggle. His mother. What's a booth? What do you see? That one got weird, but it was worth it. That was worth it. That was really good. Oh, that one. I mean, there's no way that one's like a. There's no way that was a copy and paste. That has to be. That was really good. That's really funny. That would surprise me. But yeah, that was something that I kind of want to do. It was kind of like a documentary self-interview series. I was debating on whether or not I should have someone else actually interview me, or if I would just be speaking to camera. And I kind of feel like it would be more me just speaking to camera. That's what I'm comfortable with. I couldn't find a friend that I would feel um would be able to sit through the worst of my stories. Um, not that I don't have friends that would be, okay or wouldn't judge me, but just that I feel like it would be a lot. It'd be a lot for them to sit in the room and endure. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's another idea that I've been kind of like muddling over. Maybe it's something that'll go to the members page. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. Got some ideas. Got some ideas. So, uh, I think we got like less than 5 minutes left because I wanted to do a 2-hour one today. Again, to hopefully catch up on a lot of stuff and give people plenty of time to come in and ask me questions. And I don't think there was anything that I missed. I don't think there was any other things that needed to be covered or anything that um, I forgot. Not too much had happened in the past couple weeks, other than other than some relatively large projects, some video games and stuff like that. But nothing really. I mean, probably the biggest thing was my PC. I mean, that just being a huge, agonizing headache. But other than that, it's been pretty much business as usual, and there wasn't too much new to share. So, yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Probably gonna sign off here. No need for it to be an exact 2 hours. I don't think that's entirely necessary, considering most people are probably already tuning out. Yeah. So Patreon, not Patreon, Discord still in the works. Membership page still in the works. Um, Probably going to be live streaming my audiobook at some point in time on this channel, as either a premiere or a live stream, and that way we can also do a chat afterwards. And it'll only be for like a 24-hour kind of thing, and then that will probably be available for the partners pay for the partners only page as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do, if we can have a, dialogue. Maybe the partners page will just be the Discord. I don't know. We'll see. But it's got some ideas, some stuff to work on, and then obviously need to do a video about Bill Deweese. That shit is funny. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Have a great evening, rather. But I'm gonna say have a great day, everyone. All right. Hope you have a good rest of your day. You too. I, you know, hoping this ends sometime soon. Again, so glad you guys could not hear it. And if it does, then I'll be able to get some work done. If not, then I will just be sitting here suffering. But hopefully not for too much longer. And I'll see you guys. If y'all, where was it? It was on. Oh yeah, it was the. Can I pin this? I mean, yeah, I guess I can pin that. Pin message for gonna be hanging out with Rob, doing a live stream tomorrow at 9:45 p.m. CDT. I don't know what CDT. It's Canadian time, but I don't know which side of Canada it is. I think it's east. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Kentucky Derby time just because that's still funny to me. Yeah, and we're gonna be watching the Adam Project on Netflix and going to be roasting the crap out of it. And yeah, so that's gonna be it. Central Daylight Time. I'm still gonna say Kentucky Derby time as long as y'all know which one it is. That's fine. Kentucky Derby time. However, I think Kentucky is a K. In fact, I'm positive. But yeah, it's gonna be it. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace.